Welcome to Watters World. I'm Jesse Watters. The end of an era. That's the subject of tonight's Watters Words. On Monday, Fox announced that I'm going to be hosting the 7 p.m. hour called Jesse Watters Primetime. I'm really excited for the opportunity and extremely grateful to get this shot. I'm still going to be co-hosting the 5. Greg couldn't live without me. But Watters World is leaving Saturday nights. The new show at 8 o'clock will be announced in the near future. So tonight, this show will be the very last Watters World. If you've watched Watters World from the beginning, as we transitioned from the factory to the studio, you know how much the show's grown and how much I've grown as a host and as a person. I'm not saying I put on weight, which I did for a while, but I lost it, and you'll notice that in some of the footage we're about to show you. What I'm saying is my world has gotten a whole lot bigger. I spoke about this in my book, How I Saved the World, which was #1, thank you, that I really saved myself, and by doing so, made the world around me a better place. Everyone is the master of their own world. You're responsible for your own thoughts, happiness, and success. Everything starts here and here. The power of positive thinking, big dreams, hard work, and good habits will take you anywhere you want. That, and of course, a lot of love. And waking up really early in the morning doesn't hurt either. What made this show possible in the beginning was one thing. The Factor sent me far and wide throughout the country to interview people from all walks of life and investigate what needed attention. During my travels, I formed an unbreakable connection with the people of this country. And of course, you, the audience. This connection with the people is the most important element in my professional career. That's why when I did my book signings, I promised people they could touch me, just not the hair. You and I will always know and love each other. We're patriots, and we protect each other. This right here is special, and everybody knows it. So before I start to cry, let's memorialize our weekend run together. This is not going to be your typical show. No news tonight, except what I just announced. Tonight we'll be looking back at our biggest interviews, our most confrontational moments, our craziest adventures, our wildest features, and our biggest characters from the street. As you're about to see, we've come a long way. From presidents and politicians to singers and actors, we've interviewed a lot of people. We gave Trump a Watters World quiz, and he aced it. We pressed Fauci on China as coronavirus first spread around the world. We chatted with everyone from billionaires to business kids to big-time movie directors. Let's take a look back at some of the greatest moments. It turns out half of your supporters only want you in the White House because they want to see Melania as First Lady.
They have very good taste.
Is Melania a fan of Watters World? I heard she is.
She is a huge fan, and so is my son. I have a 9-year-old son, Barron, so you have a low demographic, very young demographic. But Barron loves your Watters World.
Well, your family has great taste.
They have very good taste.
First state dinner. Who are you going to invite?
Probably not the Chinese to the first dinner. Probably,
Mexico, maybe?
Probably not. I mean, we won't invite too many of the countries that are ripping us off, of which there are many. But you'll certainly be there.
Hillary Clinton does yoga. What do you make of that?
I can't imagine it, but I think it's good. If it makes her happy. You know what? If it makes her happy,
that's right.
Let her do it.
What is President Obama's greatest accomplishment, in your opinion?
There are none.
I also would have accepted playing a lot of golf.
You've done a good job. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Trump. And remember, I'm Watters, and this is my world.
It is your world. You better believe it. Young, handsome, it's your world.
Let's do a Watters World quiz.
Okay.
Don't be nervous.
Okay, I won't. I
think you'll do just fine. Chuck Schumer, the president of CNN, and Alec Baldwin. If you had to fire one person right now, who would you fire?
I think the Alec Baldwin situation is not good. Chuck, I'm very disappointed because he's a guy that should make deals for the people. And Jeff Zucker, I mean, I got him the job. I recommended him, and I didn't recommend, I got him the job. And CNN is just, you know, fake news. Who would I say? I don't want to say, but I will say I'm disappointed in all three.
I'm going to name a name, and then you give 1 or 2 words to describe that person, okay?
Okay.
Kellyanne Conway.
A very nice woman.
Hillary Clinton.
Disappointed.
Elizabeth Warren.
I think she'd lose so badly. Pocahontas would not be proud of her as her representative, believe me.
Here in America, we will not tolerate burning churches, rioting and looting, or taking advantage of what would otherwise be peaceful protests to pursue criminal aims.
Joining me now, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Are there other things that you think maybe you could have done to spare the country from a full economic shutdown?
We felt at the time, and still do now, that that was the right thing to do. Could there have been other approaches? I mean, I'm humble enough to know that maybe there could be. That was the choice we made based on the information that we have. One can always second guess.
So you've been hating on Trump a little bit, and I think I know why.
Why?
I think you're jealous.
Oh, I'm incredibly jealous.
This guy is a big mouth billionaire about to be president, and you're like, wait a second, I was the first big mouth billionaire out there. What about me?
Right. That's just my tendencies, right? People I really admire, I tend to emulate and try to copy them as much as I can.
Much better. Much better.
You know, and so I just try to steal their thunder wherever I have the opportunity.
But I thought you guys were supposed to stick together, you billionaires. Isn't it a club?
It is a club, but he forgot the handshake.
Because you know, if there's an uprising, the peasants are coming after you billionaires first.
You know what? That's true. So Donald has nothing to worry about.
Okay, good. I was just down at the Houston Rodeo. Got myself a cowboy hat. Do you think I can pull off the cowboy look?
Well, not right. Yeah, well, I guess.
I'm what they say, all hat, no cattle.
Oh, yeah, I did it. I recorded a song on one of my albums a few years ago called All Hat, No Cattle.
Any advice to get the deep baritone like you have?
Whiskey and cigarettes.
Candace Owens was a lifelong Democrat, but became disillusioned with the left after she found herself harassed by a prominent progressive. That's when she had her red pill moment.
Well, with Black Americans, I mean, the main issue is that we keep voting Democrat and expecting different results. They secure our vote with all of these false promises, and the second that they get into the White House, they do absolutely nothing for African Americans but make sure that we remember that we're Black so they can play the same identity card the next election cycle. Facts are incredibly insulting to liberals. You have to understand that, okay?
Joining me now, Italian-born model and actor who recently became a U.S. citizen, Fabio.
This is the best country in the world.
What's going on out there in California?
Well, you know, when you, one of the most beautiful places in the world is being ruined. When you have a governor like Joey Brown who actually turned his back on his own people, the law enforcement, and take the side of the criminal. If you still believe in politicians, you live in a fairy tale. I mean, come on. America, never give up your guns.
Never give up your guns. The ones on your arms and the ones in your waistband.
Remember what happened to Europe.
Today's media is a tattered, steaming mess.
Don't Fauci my Florida.
This country faces extraordinary threats from a pandemic, China, Russia, from Iran, from terrorists, and Joe Biden's too weak to confront them.
They're so out of sync with what America says they want on all of these issues.
I told you so about Joe Biden.
I mean, he's doing so much to destroy himself. There's no point in getting in the middle of it.
Here's the problem with Biden. Not only is he terrible, he's obviously got issues.
And we've had nothing on what Kamala and Joe are presenting to this country.
Well, we got to push back and fight back.
People in America need to remember who fought for these freedoms and who is continuing to fight.
This is institutionalized corruption. How could there not be a conflict of interest?
The Attorney General should show some integrity.
Artificial intelligence is better than no intelligence at all, so we'll take it. But this is freaky. I don't like the look of this.
Oliver Stone is one of the Hollywood greats. Is the intelligence agency operation and the media so good at selling boogeymans to us that we're just kind of at their mercy?
The intelligence agencies have misled us in many affairs, going back in wars especially. It's years of misinformation. I would say Hollywood tends to economically censor subjects that are critical of the America's foreign policy and critical of the military adventures abroad that we've been engaged in for so many years. I know also that I had a hell of a hard time getting Platoon made, as well as several other films, including the Salvador film, too.
What would you guys like to see happen to these leakers.
We would like to see them go straight to jail.
Straight.
Don't pass go, go directly to jail.
Go directly to jail.
That's right.
And not only the leakers, but get the people that's accessories to the leaker.
You guys are accessorizing very nicely, I might add, too.
Thank you.
All right, we're not going to lock you up, though, for that.
Okay.
10-year-old Frank Giacchio wrote a letter to President Trump offering to mow the lawn at the White House. When you wrote the letter to the president and there was a reply, you probably became pretty famous in your neighborhood.
I showed it to a few friends of mine. Immediately, they went pretty epic, and then it just started growing. And a few people, I think, they want me to mow their lawn.
Oh, so it helped your business?
Yep.
That's excellent. Ava, what inspired you to create this mini AOC character? How did this whole thing start?
This whole thing started by my dad and my uncle. They said that I looked like her and I talked like her, so I should make videos.
What do you think of AOC? Do you like her?
She's funny. I think she's funny.
She's funny. I think all of us think she's funny. And remember, I'm Watters, and this is my world.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.